Hello and welcome to Aisha Speaks Jade podcast, where I am your host, Aisha, also known as Jade. And in today's episode, I think it is very important. Well, everything I talk about, I feel as though is important. This is also important, which is financial literacy for adults as well as children, and especially our youth that are coming up. They should know information on financial literacy. So there are 5 key components of financial literacy that I would like to speak about. So the sooner you master these financial concepts, the better. So let's jump right into it, okay? So the first would be budgeting basics. Creating and maintaining a budget is one of the most basic aspects of staying on top of your finances. So in this modern day, it's easier than ever to create a budget with the help of different websites and apps. And one of them that I would like to mention, if you'd like to write it down, is called mint.com. That's mint.com. So it doesn't matter if math isn't your strong suit. Thanks to these user-friendly tools, everyone can get help with keeping their finances on track. And when utilized properly, they'll keep you in the know about where your money is actually going. So you don't have to put a whole lot of effort into it, but you do have to put some effort into it so that you can stay in the know about financial literacy and what's going on with your money. So without following a budget, it's difficult to hold yourself accountable on where your money is coming from and what is going toward. So mastering the basics of budgeting is where any financial place, that's where you should start. So you might want to start, if you haven't already, with doing something just as basic as that. Being accountable and starting and maintaining a budget for yourself. And again, the recommendation I suggested is mint.com. But again, if that's not doable for you, you can certainly go to different websites and apps to figure out one that might work for you. The next would be the impact of interest. So while you may touch upon the concepts within a mathematical course, it is important to understand different aspects like compound interest. Why? Why, you ask? Not only can it help you save even more, but it can make the difference between borrowing a small amount and paying back much more than you need to for years to come. So understanding the ins and outs of interest can impact your finances more than you likely realize. So it's an important concept to gain a better understanding of early on in life. The next I want to speak about is staying savvy by saving. And I know sometimes people are like, child, I don't have that money to be saving like that. But you have to discipline yourself and make yourself accountable. And even if you need to get an accountability partner, that's okay too. Staying savvy by saving. So, obviously, clearly, saving is an important aspect of maintaining a healthy financial situation. Okay? But the majority of students don't prioritize this aspect as much as they should. It's easy to ignore things like retirement since it seems so far off in the future. Yes, for the students, but also I feel like for those of us that are full grown, a lot of us don't tend to think about things like that. Retirement and just having money set aside that could work for you in the future to come, in the now or in the future to come. So learning to save early on can help you gain the knowledge, okay? So for those, again, that are more seasoned or are full-grown adults, you can start it now too. It's never too late. You can start it if you want to. That's if you want to. Now that's a choice. So beginners can start working on this concept in the simplest sense, like saving money for a higher ticket item they desire. Working toward a goal is key here. And as well, students need to understand that there's a lot of value in paying yourself first. You can have a peace of mind, okay, that comes with practice, diligence, and patience. All qualities that we need to develop when mastering your savings skill set, okay? So it's not going to happen overnight, so you're going to have to practice, okay? And don't make excuses, but you're going to have to practice that. Have some diligence and some patience. The next is the credit debt roller coaster. So, credit can be extremely a useful tool if it's managed correctly. Making rash decisions when you're young can end up costing you throughout your adulthood. So it is very important to grasp the concepts and tools behind responsible credit practices as early on as possible. Okay? Because what you don't want to happen is have your credit so extremely messed up that it takes years upon years to get back together. So start now. And for the adults, you too can start it now. Take that first step and do what you need to do with your credit and paying yourself back. I get the whole government thing, but let's do what we need, all that we can do for ourselves to make it better as well. And lastly, identify theft issues and safety. So, in this modern day and age of information, identity theft is more prevalent than ever. And I have unfortunately been the victim of identity theft. Since everything is digital and just about everyone has stopped online at one point or another, your financial information is more vulnerable to fraud. Unfortunately, your accounts get hacked into, people are spending your money, you may or may not get that money back, the banks are acting very stupid, and just identity theft is just a bad thing to have to happen to you. It feels like it's the end of the world, however, it is not. So understanding this concept along with preventative measures like password protection and limiting the amount of information shared online can be the key to maintaining safe accounts, or inversely can lead to financial ruin. Okay, so make sure you protect your password at all times. Don't keep accounts open. When you get done, close them out. I'm not saying it's a solid thing, but take all the preventative steps. It could help, okay? So while it's not a foolproof science, okay, people can be safe and things still do happen. Yes, indeed it does. It's important to safeguard your finances as best as possible to avoid the threats that exist. So, sidebar. If you need money to pay for college, this is a sidebar. You can go to Fast Web, which helps thousands of students pay for school by matching them to scholarships, grants, and internships for which they actually qualify. Again, that is called FastWeb, FASTWEB. And also you'll find high value scholarships that are easy to enter. Like, for example, Niche 2000 no essay scholarships and internships with companies like Apple, Google, DreamWorks, and yes, even NASA. So for those individuals, maybe your children, or maybe even yourself, you're looking to go back to school as a parent or as an adult, you too still can get qualified to these different scholarships and grants and even some internships, okay? So you have FastWeb, I just mentioned. So thank you guys so much. As always, you know I appreciate you. Know that your self-care is a priority, not a choice. But at the end of the day, it is up to you if you want it to be a choice or a priority. Self-care, self-worth, know your value. Through all of our challenges and obstacles, we can catch it, check it, and change it. It is something that might be a little difficult, but it can be achieved. So with that in mind, peace and blessings to each and every one of you. Keep toxic people away. Get in a positive circle. It can be small. It does not need to be large. Go for your success and your goals, your missions, your visions, your passions, whatever that looks like to you. Step out on whatever your belief is. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Namaste, Ashe, and be good to yourself. Peace out.